𝗍𝗵𝗱𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗍𝗐𝗍houseplants.com, where I teach you all about gardening in the great indoors. If you'd like to support my show, check out the description box below for the many ways to do that. Today we have a plant care video on this beautiful Crossandra, botanically known as Crossandra infundibuliformis. And we're going to talk about how to keep this colorful flowering plant healthy and happy in your indoor garden. Also known as Firecracker Flower, Crossandra is native to India and Sri Lanka, where it grows as an evergreen tropical perennial. In temperate climates, it is most often grown as a houseplant. Crossandra features glossy, textured, oval-shaped leaves and clusters of showy flowers that rise above the foliage on upright stems, as you can see. The blooms have 5 asymmetrical overlapping petals, which give them a compact fan-like appearance. The flowers are most commonly in orange, like this plant, and salmon, but there are varieties in red, yellow, and pink. Indoors, the plant can eventually reach 1 to 3 feet tall. The common name firecracker flower comes from the plant's seed pods, which can burst open when exposed to high humidity or water, scattering the seeds. You can prevent this from happening indoors by cutting back the spent flower stems before the seed pods mature. And I do have a video on cutting back the spent flowers, which I will link below. Okay, so now let's talk about how you can keep this plant healthy and happy in your indoor garden. Lighting. Crossandra requires bright indirect light to grow well and continue flowering. Place the plant in front of an eastern window or near a bright northern window. You can also place it 2 to 3 feet away from a southern window. Crossandra also grows and flowers well under full spectrum lighting. And this selection here, I do have growing under full spectrum lighting most of the time. Some gentle morning sun is fine, but protect the plant from intense midday and afternoon sunlight coming from a window, as that can scorch or bleach the foliage and cause the leaf edges to curl. Signs that Crossandra is receiving too little light include leggy growth, pale foliage, and few or no flowers. Turn the plant slightly every time you water so that it receives even lighting on all sides. Watering. Keep Crossandra's soil evenly moist but never soggy. This plant doesn't like to dry out completely, but it is also susceptible to root rot when kept too wet. Water when the surface of the soil has dried out and the pot has become more lightweight. If you're using a moisture meter, water when the meter reaches 4 and definitely before it drops to 3. Always water Crossandra with warm water. Cold water can shock the roots and cause the plant to lose leaves and decline. Water thoroughly until water runs from the drainage holes and never allow the pot to sit in standing water. Signs of underwatering include drooping foliage, dry brown leaf edges, and leaf loss. Signs of overwatering include yellowing leaves, soft stems, consistently wet soil, and eventual root rot. Fertilizing. Fertilize Crossandra once a month, spring through fall, with a well-balanced organic fertilizer made for houseplants. Avoid over-fertilizing, as excessive fertilizer can burn the roots and cause salt buildup in the soil. Crossandra can also develop iron chlorosis when grown indoors. This generally appears as yellowing in the newest leaves while the veins remain green. Begin by feeding the plant with a well-balanced organic fertilizer. If the problem continues, check the soil pH, because an unsuitable pH can prevent the plant from absorbing iron even when iron is present in the soil. Adjust the pH as needed. I have videos on iron chlorosis and checking and adjusting soil pH that I'll link below. Humidity. Crossandra requires above average humidity to perform well. A humidity level of approximately 50 to 60% or higher is a good indoor target. Place the plant on a humidity pebble tray, making sure the bottom of the pot remains above the water. You can also group it with other plants, mist the foliage, or use a humidifier when indoor air is especially dry. Avoid repeatedly misting the delicate flowers, as excess moisture can damage the blooms. Use a hygrometer to monitor the humidity level around the plant. Also provide good air circulation, especially when humidity is high. Temperature. Crossandra prefers warm temperatures. It does especially well around 70 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit, but generally grows well between approximately 65 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Protect the plant from temperatures below 55 degrees Fahrenheit, which can cause sudden leaf loss. Always keep it away from cold drafts, air conditioning vents, and abrupt temperature changes. Repotting. Repot Crossandra when the plant has surpassed my 2/3, 1/3 plant to pot ratio. When roots are growing from the drainage holes or when the soil begins drying out much more quickly than usual. Move the plant up no more than 1 pot size at a time and always use a container with drainage holes. Crossandra grows best in rich potting soil that retains some moisture but also drains well. A high-quality houseplant potting mix amended with peat moss or coconut coir and perlite or pumice works well. Because Crossandra can be sensitive to root disturbance, handle the roots carefully when repotting and avoid unnecessarily breaking apart the root ball. Pruning. Prune out fading flowers to encourage the plant to produce additional blooms. Remove the entire spent flower stem before seed pods mature if you don't want the pods bursting open and scattering seeds indoors. You can also pinch back the growing tips to encourage a fuller, bushier plant. If Crossandra becomes leggy, prune it back in early spring before active growth begins. Generally speaking, avoid removing more than 1/3 of the plant when pruning at one time. Pests and diseases. Crossandra is not especially prone to pest problems, but it can occasionally attract mealybugs, whiteflies, and spider mites. Check the undersides of the leaves and the areas where leaves meet the stems on a regular basis so you can catch pests before they become established. Root rot is the most common disease problem with Crossandra and is generally caused by overwatering, poor drainage, or allowing the pot to sit in water after watering. Low light can stop the plant from flowering, while cold temperatures can cause leaf drop. Brown, dry leaf edges often indicate underwatering or insufficient humidity. Propagation. Crossandra is best propagated from stem cuttings taken early in the growing season, generally in spring or early summer. Take a healthy tip cutting with clean pruning shears and remove the lower leaves. Dip the cut end in rooting hormone and insert it into moist seed starting or rooting mix. Place the cutting beneath a humidity dome and on a seedling heat mat to provide the warmth and humidity it needs to root. Keep the rooting medium moist but not soggy, and mist is needed to maintain humidity. Place the cutting in bright indirect light or under full spectrum lighting while it develops roots. Is this plant safe for pets? Crossandra is listed as non-toxic to cats and dogs. Even so, it's best to discourage pets from chewing on the plant, since eating any plant material can potentially cause mild digestive upset. So there you go, how to keep this lovely plant Crossandra happy and healthy in your indoor garden. Thank you for stopping by today. Please leave any comments about any indoor gardening tutorials you'd like to see. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. And please check the bell if you'd like to be notified when new videos are released.